Hello everyone. Before we start today's lesson, try this warm-up. Expand and simplify. And then, what was the question? So in this one, you're working backwards. What were you multiplying together to get this as an answer after you expand and simplify? So pause the video and try these. So for question 1, expand and simplify. Remember, you're doing this. Every term in the first set of brackets gets multiplied by every term in the second set of brackets. So x gets multiplied by x, and x gets multiplied by 5. 10 gets multiplied by x, and 10 gets multiplied by 5. Now we have like terms in the middle. 5x plus 10x is 15x, so we end up with x squared plus 15x plus 50. We do the same process for the next two questions. Just remember, squaring means you're multiplying it by itself. So x plus 3 squared is x plus 3 times x plus 3. Now we do the same process. X times 3 times x, and 3 times 3. Simplify the like terms, and we end up with this. So that's expand and simplify. Question 2, what was the question? So what numbers went in the blanks so that when you expand and simplify, you get this as your answer. X plus 2 times x plus 4. X times x is x squared plus 4x plus 2x plus 8. 4x and 2x add to 6x, so this is it. Now, if you were able to get this, you actually were able to pick out patterns that we're going to talk about today, and we're going to start with what we call simple trinomials like this, and we're going to work backwards by factoring to get this factored form. So the whole goal of today's lesson is to be able to change standard form to factored form, and we're just going to look at simple trinomials, which are trinomials, 3 terms in this format here. So in order to factor these simple trinomials, we need to understand what the relationship is between the factored form and the standard form. If we expand and simplify factored form, we end up with standard form. If we factor standard form, we will end up with factored form. So what I want you to notice is this. The numbers in the brackets in factored form add together to get the coefficient on the middle term in standard form. -3 plus 5 is positive 2. And if I multiply the numbers in the brackets, -3 multiplied by positive 5, I end up with -15. So this pattern always holds true when we look at a simple trinomial and how it is in the factored form. The numbers in the brackets multiply to the constant term, and they add to the coefficient on the middle term. So knowing that pattern, I can factor an expression like this. I know that the numbers in the brackets will have to multiply to 12 and add to 7. So I need to figure out what those two numbers are. So what I've done is I've written out the factors of 12 and I've multiplied them together. So I can get 12 by doing 1 times 12, or 2 times 6, or 3 times 4. These are the factors of 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. If I multiply them together, I get 12. So a 1 and a 12 multiply to 12, but a 1 and a 12 only add to 13, not 7, which I need. 2 times 6 is 12, but 2 plus 6 is 8, not 7, which is what I need. 3 times 4 is 12, and 3 plus 4 is 7. So I've found my two numbers that multiply to 12 and add to 7, 3 and 4. And so that's it. I found what the factored form of my equation is. X squared plus 7x plus 12 is x plus 3 times x plus 4. I know I have 3 and 4 in the brackets because 3 times 4 is 12, and 3 plus 4 is 7. I found the two numbers that multiply to my constant, and add to my middle term. And now it's your turn. I'd like you to pause the video and try factoring these two expressions just the way that I showed you. So pause the video and try it. So hopefully you got these answers. X plus 2 times x plus 7 for the first one. X plus 5 times x plus 10 for the second one. I'm just showing my work here in blue in case you got stuck. I know that I need two numbers that multiply to 14 and add to 9. So I went through factors of 14. What multiplies to 14? Well, 1 times 14 or 2 times 7. Those are the only ways we can multiply to 14. Now add them up, see if you get 9. 1 plus 14 is 15, not 9. 2 plus 7 is 9. That's what I want. That's the winner. So I know 2 and 7 are my numbers that go in the brackets in my factored form. Likewise, for the second question, I need two numbers that multiply to 50 and add to 15. Well, the winner is 5 and 10 because 5 times 10 is 50. 5 plus 10 is 15. So this is the factored form right here. Now I have a question that I'm going to factor, but it involves a negative sign. So you got to be careful here. I'm going to follow the same process that I did before, but I'm going to keep an eye on this negative sign. So I need to find two numbers that multiply to negative 12 and positive 4. So just watch out. That negative sign belongs to the 12. It's a negative 12 I need to multiply to, and I need to add to a positive 4. So I work through the same process as I did before. I'm looking at the factors of negative 12. What multiplies to negative 12? Well, 1 times negative 12 or negative 1 times 12. 2 times negative 6, negative 2 times 6. I could keep going. 3 times negative 4, negative 3 times 4. But if I'm adding them up as I go, I find that this is the winner. Negative 2 and positive 6 add to 4 as well as multiplying to negative 12. So I know that negative 2 and positive 6 are my numbers that I want. So my factored form equation is x minus 2 times x plus 6 because negative 2 and positive 6 multiply to negative 12 and add to 4. Those are the winners. So the moral of the story here is to factor, just watch your signs. Okay, if there's a negative sign, be careful. So now I'm going to ask you to try these ones on your own. Pause the video and see if you can factor these following what I showed you in the previous slides. And here you go. In each case, we're looking for numbers that multiply to 8 or negative 8, add to positive 6 or negative 6, or positive 2 or negative 2. So depending on the plus or minus signs, you will get different plus or minus signs in your factored form equation. In the first one, we need two numbers that multiply to a positive answer and add to a positive answer, so it makes sense that both of my numbers are positive. In the second one, we need two numbers that multiply to be positive but add to be negative. So because there's a negative in there somewhere, I know that I'm going to have a negative number in my factored form, but because they multiply to be positive, I know that they both have to be negative because a negative times a negative is a positive. Likewise here, my answer when I multiply the two numbers has to be negative, but when I add them together I get positive. So I know that one of my answers is going to be negative, and the bigger one has to be positive because when I add them together, I'm going to end up being positive overall. And over here, multiply to be negative, so I know that I'm going to have one negative number, but they add to be negative, so I know the bigger one's going to be negative. And that's how I knew these numbers. But overall, what we're doing, remember, we're still just finding two numbers that multiply to the constant and add to the coefficient on the middle term. And now I just want to show you another level of complexity. Here I have a trinomial, but it doesn't look like a simple trinomial because the coefficient on the first term is not 1. You see a 3 there. The question also says factor fully. This implies that there might be more than one step in the factoring process. The first thing I notice is that there is a greatest common factor in all three terms. The greatest common factor is 3. So if I say that the greatest common factor is 3, what is the other factor that I multiply 3 by to get this? Well, 3 times x squared is a 3x squared. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times negative 6 is negative 18. So I can factor this expression using common factoring. And now, look at this. Inside the brackets, I have a simple trinomial. I'm going to try factoring it the way I've been showing you in this lesson. So if I look at what's in here, in the simple trinomial, I need to find two numbers that multiply to negative 6 and add to, what's this? Plus 1. Multiplies to negative 6, adds to positive 1. And if I work it out the same way I tried before, I'll know that my numbers are negative 2 and positive 3. And so that's it. I factored fully. I did common factoring first, and then I factored the simple trinomial, and I ended up with 3 times x minus 2 times x plus 3 as the fully factored form of this standard form equation. And now I'd like you to try. So you've got 4 different expressions here. Each of them have a coefficient in front of the x squared. So you need to remember, try common factoring first, and then factor the simple trinomial remaining. So pause the video and try these on your own. Factor fully. So now you can check your answers. For the first one, I factored out the 5 as the greatest common factor. I was left with x squared plus 6x plus 8 in the brackets. I needed to find two numbers that multiply to 8 and add to 6. Those numbers are 2 and 4. So I end up with 5 times x plus 2 times x plus 4 as my factored form equation. And I do the same thing with the others. Whatever number is in front of the x squared, I use that as my greatest common factor, even if it's negative. In this one, just watch out, each term had an x in it, so x is part of the greatest common factor. In each case, I have a simple trinomial in brackets as before, and I can factor those the same way I did. In this one, I need two numbers that multiply to negative 8 and add to negative 2. Those numbers are positive 2 and negative 4. So I end up with this as my factored form. Now, I'd like you to try this on your own, but the idea here is that we're trying to tie a bunch of things together that we've been talking about with quadratic functions. So here we have the function f of x equals negative 5x squared minus 5x plus 30. If you were to graph this, you would have a parabola. You can probably tell the direction of opening by looking at the a value. You can figure out the y-intercept because this is in standard form. You can find the x-intercepts if you know what the factored form equation is. So there's your hint. You're going to need the factored form of this equation in order to find the x-intercepts. And once you have the x-intercepts, you can figure out what the axis of symmetry is, which will help you to find the coordinates of the vertex. So I'd like you to pause the video and try to figure out all this information about this quadratic function. So pause the video and try this yourself. The first thing I notice is that in the standard form equation, the constant tells me where the y-intercept is. So that's how I know where the y-intercept is. If I change the standard form into factored form, doing the factoring that we talked about this lesson, I end up with this equation. And remember, in the factored form, the numbers in the brackets tell me where the x-intercepts are. So when it says x minus 2, that tells me the x-intercept is at positive 2. And when it says x plus 3, that tells me that the x-intercept is at negative 3. So I know that my x-intercepts are negative 3 and positive 2, here and here on the graph. To find the axis of symmetry, well, I know that because the parabola is symmetrical, it's going to have x-intercepts equal distance away from it on either side. So halfway between -3 and 2 is -0.5. If you can't think that through, just find the average of -3 and 2. You end up with -0.5. So I know my axis of symmetry is x equals -0.5, and now I also know that the vertex is always on the axis of symmetry because it goes right through the middle of the graph. If the x value at the vertex is -0.5, I can find the y value using my equation. So if I take my equation, replace x with -0.5, evaluate brackets first, then the multiplication, you get 31.25. So now I know when x is -0.5, y is 31.25, and that is where my vertex is. So you can get all this information just from the one equation in standard form. You can figure out all these important points on the graph. And now it's your turn to consolidate all this lesson about factoring simple trinomials. You can start with page 99 in your textbook. These questions will get you some good practice to solidify your understanding.